You are listening to the Body Charge podcast, and I'm your host, Sandy Sanderson. Welcome to the Body Charge podcast. Today's topic is how can breathwork help your cardiovascular system? The breath of life is a true miracle in nature, from a pregnant woman's breathing that supplies her unborn with access to life, to that child's first breath of air at birth. The process of breathing determines how we live. But are you aware that certain breathing exercises and techniques can greatly improve your cardiovascular function and extend your lifespan? My special guest today is Raj Khedun, Managing Director of Keep Fit Kingdom. He's an author and a health coach who has developed the 3-3 Metaverse Breathing Method, part of the 7 Minutes to Bliss program, which dramatically reduces stress and anxiety within 1 to 3 minutes. It's highly effective in healing insomnia and supporting heart health. So welcome aboard, Raj. Really happy to have you today on this amazing topic.
Absolutely, Sandy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about how the conversation can unfold here.
Yeah, it's all about, finding the right kind of lifestyle and niche and, natural way of living so we're happy and healthy without falling down with our health, because, it's really hard to be happy when we're in pain or we have like health issues. So we're always looking for natural alternatives to avoid the bad stuff. My first question is, what led you to this holistic health coaching work involving nutrition, exercise, and overcoming addictions? How did you get involved?
Wow. Well, it's a big question, and I always like to start with a bit of an overview of my background. It will help, give a clearer insight into things. So, as a young kid, I was always interested in physiology, biology, sports, how the body works, like how the body actually works. Because even after all these years of studying, and you see doctors online, and you hear friends who have operations and all kinds of things, there's still huge amounts of things about the body we don't know. Huge. It's
True.
just
Yeah,
after all these years with all this technology, there's still a lot about the human body that we have
I
no
never
idea.
stop learning. It's just ongoing, and we probably never will get there, but we should be aiming to get closer, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I was quite a lot into health and fitness as a teenager. I did the kind of alpha male things in the gym, like pumping heavy weights and all that kind of thing, compete with the boys, and silly stuff like that. And I also got into yoga and understand hatha yoga and the meditative aspects of yoga. I've
Yeah,
actually studied yoga for 20 to 25 to 30 years now.
yeah. And that's very big on breathing.
Huge, huge. I mean, it's not taught deeply enough in the school system how important the breath actually is. And I think that's a real shame. And I think nowadays, people are beginning, like with the likes of Wim Hof and so on, I think people are beginning
Yes.
to understand the importance of breath and self-regulation.
Yes,
So,
that was one of my questions coming up with the Wim Hof system. So he pumps his body with a lot of breath work, a lot of air before a big event, before a big challenge to the physical body. And
mm,
through that oxygenation process, is able to have a much longer resilience, a sustainability of a high level of performance.
mm,
So it's very interesting. So he is actually teaching scientists about what's possible with the body, and
that's
there
right.
goes the ongoing research, which is very encouraging actually, because it's really great to think that we are not limited, and
Mm,
that we can keep improving and keep expanding. And there's really unlimited potential in the human physiology, isn't there?
mm. Absolutely, absolutely. And it's an exciting time, especially post-pandemic. People are looking for more and more natural ways to
Yeah,
heal and
so Wim
recover
Hof
things.
tells his story that he developed this method to overcome his own pain. And it's also about stress and pain and maybe depression. A lot of mental health issues involve um, not breathing properly.
Mm,
So that leads me to the core question of stress. What effect does stress have in how we breathe? And how then do we fix the problem of not breathing correctly?
Yeah, I mean, this I've had this conversation, variations of it, all this week with various scientists and doctors and therapists and so on. So, if I can explain a kind of micro model of how, an overview of how to see this, would that help?
Yep, yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, um, interestingly enough, we're not taught anything about the mind in school. Like, what is the mind, right? Does the mind have a part to play in your health? Yes or no? You don't get 1 hour of instruction in your entire schooling about what is the mind.
Yeah. Which
And the
is
strange,
our superpower.
yeah. And if it's your superpower and the school system never tells you about it, then are you surprised at the problems that are happening in the world? I'm not,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, but very few educational systems actually foster the creativity and expanding the mind that way.
Mm,
Unfortunately, they're judged to be on the fringe or alternative. But they should really be mainstream, shouldn't they? It should be for everyone to teach our children to meditate and to be creative and to, have a well-rounded appreciation of what life is all about, to grow pot
absolutely.
plants and, live with and understand nature better.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to dial in your question, and put a fine point on it, you've got the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system.
Mhm.
So if you don't know how to self-regulate because you always go, go, go in the rat race,
On the
adrenaline, cortisol
treadmill
on the treadmill, you'll go, go, go. You never have a chance to fully relax
and recover.
and recover. And some people are thinking, well, that's what sleep is for. Yes, but you should also do active recovery during the day.
Yep. Pace yourself. I mean, sport athletes do it all the time. You've got to pace yourself in the run. You
Mm,
don't you don't give it full steam all the way to the end because you don't make it as far. If you
that's right.
pace yourself along the way, you have a better sustainability. You can go further.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think because we're not taught how to switch to parasympathetic consciously, our body gets injured, we overtrain, we feel guilty if we're
Yeah.
not moving.
So parasympathetic is the rest and digest system. So that's
Correct,
when the cells repair, that's when we can digest food better and get the nutrients out. So we shouldn't be constantly running on adrenaline because then we can't digest food properly, everything goes pear-shaped.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
Even a day of, if you consider a 24-hour day, for 16 hours you're awake, more or less, and 8 hours you sleep, roughly. You can see that within the course of one day, you should have periods where you are active and you're doing your work and your sports, whatever. But then you also take active time to relax and rest and digest, as you said. But also not just the body, but it's also the mind. You need to reflect on how is my day going? Is everything okay? Could I do a bit better? Was I positive? Was I negative? Did I contribute to conflict or did I resolve conflict?
Yeah.
These things go on in the mind as well.
Well, it's teaching us to think, teaching us to just be in that quiet space and, allow the knots to unfold. Because if you keep running with the knots, then they wear you out faster. You get sick. And so the mind and the body are really one system, different components of one machine. One affects the other. So physically,
Exactly.
for instance, we lose a lot of magnesium under stress, and we it comes out more in the urine whenever we have stress, any kind of stress. And if you're not putting enough back because of diet or the food supply or processed foods or whatever, you're going to end up with a deficiency. And the lower the magnesium levels get, the more prone to stress we become, the more hyperactive and more anxiety we feel, and then we get shortness of breath. You see how the stress constricts and tightens everything because we're always ready to run from the tigers. And then we're not allowing our full expansion of our lungs. We're not allowing things to relax and breathe because, if you look at the waves in the ocean, the whole universe is just cycles and waves. Everything breathes in and out, doesn't it, on a macro scale?
That's right. That's right. You study like I have, yoga and metaphysics, and you're alluding to that with this illustration. Everything's an in and an out, an ebb and a flow. There's always this, gentle forwards and backwards motion. But when we become a human being, unlike animals who don't need to be told to get into flow state,
They do it
we interrupt that
automatically.
flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we interrupt our flow state with it's not even, any one particular human
It's
individual's
artificial.
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, the constructs we're in, the social constructs, the expectations, you know, they're not really accounting for at maximum wellness. So we run into all kinds of issues.
So to get optimal wellness and incorporate breathing techniques to help us recover from the stress, what do you recommend? How should we do it properly?
Yes, it's a great question. I'm also a relationships coach for women. So I've been coaching women for the last 15 years in all kinds of, relationship scenarios, whether they're in the dating phase or they're in the relationship or they're going through a breakup or a divorce or marriage or whatever it is. And I don't think there's any situation that I haven't seen. And in terms of how a woman reacts emotionally to different situations, I think I've seen pretty every combination that's possible over the last 15 years. So breathing, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to think all the time about, am I breathing in the shoulders? Am I breathing with the diaphragm? Am I breathing with the belly? If you get into all of that, a lot of people switch off because they're like, oh, I haven't been taught breathing. I can't remember that and this and that. When I teach some methods to women, um, it could be something as simple as, box breathing, like, breathe in for 8, hold for 10, breathe out for 12, and hold for 16. And they would do it with me on the phone on the session. But 2 or 3 days later, when they run into the same emotional pattern and the stress with a guy, they
I
would call
forget.
me in a panic and they would forget. I said, "Did you do the breathing?" No, I forgot. Oh, it was too complicated. I didn't think about that in the moment. So
Yes,
yeah.
but it's surprising because a lot of women know or have learned Lamar's breathing method for pregnancy, for childbirth, for labor, to alleviate and take the edge off the pain. And it's very successful using that breath work. And then it all goes
Mm.
out the door later. But you can use that same system for any stressful event.
Exactly. And when you're dealing with something so important as childbirth and you breathe then, but why don't you breathe in any other time of your life?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a bit like driving a car, isn't it? So we need in the beginning we have to think about, the steering wheel and the brake and the all the bits and pieces that go together until we have enough practice. And then that goes into automatic pilot. It goes into the autonomic system. And then when we're
Mm,
driving, we just think about where we're going to go, but we don't think of the individual movements we need to make to get there
mm,
like we did when we were first learning. So,
that's
so
right.
is the right type of breathing technique something that we learn and then we don't have to think about it anymore. We just go, okay, I need to be in the space now, go for it. And then we relax into it, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So the breathing method that we've designed, it's especially for people who are busy, who
That's
don't
me.
have time. Yeah, a lot of people that they say, "Oh, I don't have 10 minutes to meditate." And I say, "You don't have 10 minutes to meditate? Okay. Then do you have 1 minute to meditate then?" Oh, what? You mean 60 seconds? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think I can spare 60 seconds. Okay. Okay, 1 minute to 3 minutes. Can you do that? Do you think you could do that per day? Yeah, I think I could do that per day. So we geared everything around making it as accessible for as many people as possible, whether you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a teacher, you're a parent, you know, and
You
so
could
on.
just go to the
So
bathroom and sit there for 3 minutes, couldn't you? And just sit in the
absolutely,
toilet.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in my
But
cubicle, nobody disturb me.
exactly, and you could be at a workplace as well. You can definitely you take a 5 or 10 minute break anyway.
Yeah.
So you could definitely use the restroom or you go outside and do it. If you don't want to share it with others, fine, I understand that. But it's so easy and simple to do this one
Hmm.
that we're teaching companies to do it on mass together.
Yep. So what do you do?
Okay, so this one, what if I can ask you, Sandy, what kind of methods are you familiar with the most, would you say?
Oh, just breathing in deeply. I've watched a few of the Wim Hof videos, so I've done some of the exercises with him. But there's a lot of oxygen to push in the body. But I'm not an
Right.
athlete and I don't do major events, so I kind of scaled it back a little bit.
Yeah. Got to adapt it a little bit, yeah. What about the cold exposure part? How
I,
does that go with you?
I swim every morning throughout the year, even in our winter. I mean, we're in a pretty temperate climate, so but it still gets pretty chilly and freezing. And
Mm,
I go through that process, but I haven't done a proper ice bath with real ice cubes. I've only gone through icy cold water
mm, mm,
and
mm.
the cold
Mm.
showers as well.
Yeah.
You know, but
Okay.
I'm not I'm a very middle of the road kind of person. I don't go to extremes anyway in anything I do in my life. I
Yeah.
like to try and look for the balance point.
Yeah. Well, that's sensible though. If you're feeling good and you're self-aware, that's good. You're asking questions. You're always looking to optimize
Yeah,
yourself.
it's about learning what you need, and everyone's different. Everyone's body, you've got different genetics, different lifestyle, different environment.
Mm,
So the idea is to go inside and work out what you need as an individual. One t-shirt doesn't fit all.
that's right. That's right. That's right. So this method, we can get into it, and we'll do a demo in a second.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it's very gentle. It's very easy. It's very soft. And I think that's one of the major appeals of it because it's also it's super easy to remember. So if you can count to three,
Yep.
you can remember this. And there's no one I know that has ever said, no, I can't count to three.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's
So if you
let's
can count,
let's do
let's do
it.
it.
Go for it.
All right, wonderful. So what we do first of all, Sandy, this one's quite meditative, and most of the time you're going to have your eyes closed, just so you can really feel what happens with the energy. Okay. But first of all, what I'd like you to do is check your nostril flow for me. So you block your left nostril and breathe out once through the right, and then block the other nostril and breathe out once as well. Yeah. And give me an idea, is the ratio 50-50 or is it 60-40 roughly?
Yeah, it's about the same.
50-50. Yeah.
Equal, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. That's great. That tells me both your brain hemispheres are firing at optimum right now. So that's great. And on a scale of 1 to 10, Sandy, how would you say you feel right now? One being not so great and 10 being amazing. Where would you say you feel?
Um, Pretty good. Yeah, high up on the scale. Maybe an 8 or a 9 out of 10.
Really? Excellent. Okay. Right. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll keep the eyes closed and chin more or less parallel to the ground and spine more or less straight. And then we'll do 3 breaths through the nose like this, and then 3 out of the mouth like this.
Like short breaths.
Yeah, 3 equal short through the nostrils, and 2 equal, but then a last longer exhalation on the out breath. So it's
And
like you're saying ha 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 without the
and
vocal.
completely empty the lungs on the
No, no,
last
no,
one. No,
no, no. You don't have to do
that's
that
what we did
because
in yoga.
yes, but here's the thing. Remember, most people they won't do all that. You see,
Yeah,
because they will forget and it's not easy.
yeah.
So this method is so easy
It's
and
compressed.
you don't have to fully inhale or fully exhale. Just do what's comfortable.
Hmm.
That's the beauty and elegance of this, which is amazing because once you see what happens, and we'll talk you through it, you'll see why. Okay. So again, let's hear it once from you so I could just get the sounds in. So yeah, so the ha 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 is from the back of the throat. Yeah. Ha ha ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
That's it. But without the exactly, but without the
Without the
vocals.
sound. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Just for the auditory audience that can hear.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So again, there you go. Perfect.
Can you
See,
do that for
I
three
can
minutes?
no, we'll do that for 1 minute
Just 1 minute. Okay.
together, and then you'll see what happens. Okay, so we'll do eyes closed. Okay, and I'll start the timer. Three, two, one, and go.
Are we done
Okay,
yet?
just yeah. So keep the eyes closed. Keep the eyes closed. Just gently, gently relax for a moment. Just relax and gently sense what's happening within. Just relax. Keeping your eyes closed, Sandy, tell me what you notice and how you feel.
Well, a lot of a lightness in the head, I guess, from the extra oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a very peaceful sensation. Everything's calm, relaxed, and okay.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel any cool sensations in the head, in the eyes, around the sinuses, or anywhere else around the body?
Now that you mention it, certain parts of the body feel a little bit cooler, which is
Mm-hmm.
unusual because we're in the middle of our summer. And
Exactly.
yeah, so there's a difference between the outside and the inside. So I'm feeling that coolness more or less on the surface of the skin.
Mm-hmm. Any particular part of the body?
Um, yeah, my hands above on the upper part of my hands
Mm-hmm.
and wrists.
Interesting. Good. So, did you notice your heart rate slow down a little bit?
Yes, yes, which is usually racing in the podcasts. There's a lot of adrenaline pumping because we're running into the last 5 minutes.
But did you feel that so the heart rate dropped a bit?
Yes, yes, straight after the breathing. Yeah, very relaxing.
And did you find the monkey mind sort of mental chatter also decrease a bit?
Yes. I have to be focused in the podcast, though. I try and block out extraneous thoughts so I can make sure we cram everything into our half hour.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But
So,
normally in day-to-day life, it's easy to get overwhelmed, especially, this time of the year in December. People are like very overstressed, getting arrangements done on time for Christmas. or the new
Absolutely.
year or whatever's coming up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so we need to keep our focus. And I think the breathing techniques every now and again to feed that in helps the brain to realign and refocus on what's more important. So when we're in fight or flight, everything gets tangled and like messed up, and you don't know what thing to do first, or, that's the panic state. So if you can use the breathing techniques to overcome that panic state and realign all the thoughts so you can get them in order of priority, then you feel in control and then everything calms down, right?
That's right. Do you feel a slight expansion of awareness beyond the body? Do you
Uh,
feel something like that?
yes, well, it's hard to say because I've got earphones on. That kind of holds
Mm,
me in. If I took my
mm,
earphones off, I'd probably have a better sensation
yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally understand that.
because I'm very
But
kinesthetic. So I feel things very sensitively, including my earphones.
yeah, yeah. So overall, do you see how for busy executives, teachers, parents, when they do this method for, you just did it for 60 seconds. How
It felt
surprised
like
are you?
it felt
Mm,
longer. It felt like a half an hour is an amazing
mm,
compression of time. So
mm,
yeah, that leads me to believe it's very efficient. You get a lot done in a very short space of time. And you
that's
can
right.
squeeze these things in between meetings and in between stuff to do. And when you're in a busy shopping center and it's overwhelming and there's lots of people around and pushing and shoving, just go to the bathroom, sit on the cubicle and do the breathing.
Mm, that's it.
Really good strategies, excellent strategies. And of course, I might add, also make sure you get your daily magnesium, and check out electromagnesium.com.au for transdermal magnesium so that we
Mm,
can bypass the digestive system and give you more faster through the skin, which is very calming straight away. So combining that with the breathing would be an amazing combination.
yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
powerful. And helping you to do more with less effort. So that's efficiency and energy usage, isn't it?
Absolutely. Leverage of your time and
Yeah, and
energy.
it
If I
makes
can
us
ask you,
feel
Sally,
happy. Pardon?
absolutely. If I can ask you on a scale
Sure.
of 1 to 10,
Yeah.
how surprised are you how quickly this one worked for you, considering you only did it for 60 seconds?
Very, very surprised. So I would usually do a half an hour meditation to get to that same level that we just did in 1 minute. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised would you be? Would you
Yeah, a
say?
10 out of 10 surprised. Yeah.
Really?
So I'm going to
Wow.
do it from now on because that fits with my very busy lifestyle. But
Absolutely.
thank you so much, Raj. This is really helpful, useful information for people. But they probably want to know more. So where should they go to connect with you and see what you've written and done before?
Absolutely. So the best place is keepfitkingdom.com. On there, you can also find out more about the 3-3 Metaverse breathing method that we just
Yes.
did.
Hmm.
They can go on there and they can have a look at the testimonials. We've got the NHS on there. We've got all kinds of athletes on there, therapists, doctors, and they're talking about how the method has helped them.
Well, this would be great for an athlete about to do a big event because it's that focus of
Mm,
mind and body coming to that really sharp point that just would help you get over the bar, right?
correct. Into flow state. When you're in
Yeah,
flow state,
yeah,
everything flows down and morphs around your thoughts and helps everything go, positively and very effortlessly almost.
yeah. And it's something everyone can learn to do. We should be teaching our children. Let's make this a new culture for the new year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So people can go on the website, have a look at the 3-3 products. They can buy the tutorial. There's an animated tutorial and a poster, like you can see behind me here, just to remind people how to do
Yeah,
it.
get rid of the
Um,
monkey mind, that
yeah,
panic
the
mind.
monkey.
Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. And they can message us directly via WhatsApp on the actual web page.
yeah.
They can email
Get
us.
all your contact from there. We'll put a link under the video as well.
Sure, sure.
So thank you so much, Raj. This has been really enjoyable. And I
Yeah,
hope you have a great Christmas and New Year.
Absolutely. You too. It's been great. And, we hope everybody has a nice, peaceful and
Yes.
blissful festive season.
Now we have armed them with a great breathing technique.
There you go.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
I hope you liked this conversation and will share it with others. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you want to listen to other Body Charge conversations, click like, subscribe, the bell icon, and click all notifications. Subscribe to our newsletter to get updates on blogs, podcasts, videos, and magnesium special offers at electromagnesium.com.au. Relax, recharge, and recover.